Jenny, 23 years old, was a free-spirited university student pursuing a degree in fine arts. Her days were filled with vibrant colors, sketchbooks, and gallery visits. Her hair, which cascaded down to her waist in soft golden waves, was her pride and joy. It symbolized her creativity and confidence, and she often spent hours styling it in intricate braids or letting it flow freely. Her friends frequently complimented her hair, calling it her golden crown. Jenny lived a balanced life, splitting her time between her studies, part-time work at a local cafe, and nights spent painting or journaling. Despite her busy schedule, she cherished moments with her best friend, Mia, a fellow student who shared her passion for art. Together, they would dream about their future, imagining art shows and adventures across the world. That fateful evening began like any other. Jenny had just finished her shift at the cafe when Alex, 27 years old, approached her. He was charming, with an easy smile and a sense of mystery that caught her attention. "You look like you could use some fun tonight," Alex said, his voice smooth and inviting. Jenny hesitated for a moment, but the idea of an adventure intrigued her. "What kind of fun are we talking about?" she asked, curious. Alex grinned. "A drive under the stars. Trust me, you won't regret it." Mia warned Jenny about being too trusting, but Jenny brushed off her concern. "I'll be fine, it's just a drive," she reassured her friend before hopping into Alex's car. At first, the night felt magical. Alex played soft music, and they laughed as they talked about their favorite movies and childhood memories. Jenny found herself drawn to his confidence and charisma. However, as the car veered off the main road into a dense forest, the atmosphere shifted. "Where are we going?" Jenny asked, her voice tinged with unease. "You'll see," Alex replied, his smile now holding a hint of something she couldn't quite place. The car finally stopped in front of an old secluded cabin. "This is it," Alex announced, stepping out and gesturing for Jenny to follow. Inside the cabin, the air was heavy, and the shadows seemed to dance under the dim light of a single bulb. Jenny's unease grew. "Why are we here, Alex?" she asked, her voice steady despite the growing knot in her stomach. Alex's expression darkened slightly, the charm from earlier slipping away. "Relax," he said, his tone sharp but controlled. "I thought you'd appreciate a quiet spot. Don't you like a little mystery?" Jenny shifted uneasily, glancing at the door. "I think I've had enough mystery for tonight." "Can we just go back now?" she asked, her voice firmer this time. Alex stepped closer, his smile thin and forced. "What's the rush, Jenny? We just got here." She felt her heart quicken, her instincts screaming that something was off. "Alex," Jenny, 23 years old, said firmly, "I don't feel comfortable here. Please take me home." His face hardened, his charm completely replaced by something colder. "No," he said flatly, "you're not going anywhere." Jenny's stomach dropped as fear coursed through her. "What do you mean, no?" she asked, her voice trembling. Alex didn't answer. Instead, he walked over to a drawer and pulled out a pair of sharp scissors. The metal glinted ominously in the dim light as he turned back toward her. Jenny's breath hitched. She took a step back instinctively, her eyes darting toward the door. "What are you doing with those?" Alex twirled the scissors between his fingers, his smile now cruel. "You've got the most beautiful hair I've ever seen, Jenny. It's a shame it's wasted on you. I think it'd look better shorter." Panic surged through her as she realized his intentions. "You're insane." "Put those down, Alex," she shouted, her voice breaking. He advanced on her, his tone low and menacing. "You're not going anywhere until I've had my fun." Jenny lunged for the door. But Alex was quicker. He grabbed her arm and yanked her back, forcing her into a wooden chair in the center of the room. Her cries echoed in the small space. "Alex, stop this right now." Alex ignored her protests, tying her wrists to the arms of the chair with rough rope he'd pulled from a nearby shelf. "Don't struggle," he said mockingly. "It'll only make it worse." Jenny squirmed in the chair, tears streaming down her face as he stood behind her, lifting a section of her golden locks. "No, please don't do this," she begged. Jenny, Alex, 27 years old, said coldly, "This isn't about you. It's about me. And I always get what I want." The sound of the scissors slicing through her hair filled the room, each snip reverberating in her ears like a cruel taunt. He worked slowly at first, cutting small chunks to torment her. Her sobs grew louder. "Why are you doing this?" she cried. "You don't have to do this, Alex." He laughed, a harsh, joyless sound. "Oh, but I do. You'll see." Alex moved methodically, his actions deliberate. He cut unevenly, leaving chunks of hair at awkward lengths, enjoying the power he held over her. By the time he finished, the floor around Jenny was covered in her once beautiful locks. He untied her wrists with a sharp tug. "They're all done," he said, stepping back to admire his work. Jenny bolted from the chair, her hands flying to her head. The uneven tufts of hair felt foreign under her fingertips. She turned to him, anger and despair in her tear-streaked face. "You're a monster," she spat. Alex only smirked. "You'll thank me later." Jenny didn't waste another second. Fueled by adrenaline, she shoved past Alex and ran for the door. Her bare feet hit the cold ground as she sprinted through the woods, the sound of her ragged breaths drowning out the rustling leaves. She didn't stop until she reached the main road, where headlights from a passing car illuminated her disheveled figure. The driver, a kind older woman, stopped and ushered Jenny into the car. The driver immediately called the authorities, and soon Jenny found herself at the local police station. Wrapped in a blanket, her hands trembling as she recounted the horrific events of the night. The officer taking her statement, a calm and empathetic woman named Officer Ramirez, listened intently. "You're saying he forced you to let him cut your hair?" Ramirez asked, jotting notes on her pad. Jenny, 23 years old, nodded, her voice shaking. "Yes, he tied me to a chair. He had scissors. He wouldn't stop." The officer's expression darkened. "You're not the first person to report something like this. There have been 5 similar incidents over the past 3 months. Same description of the man. Same obsession with cutting hair." Jenny's stomach churned. "So he's done this before?" Officer Ramirez sighed. "Yes, but he's been careful. He doesn't leave behind much evidence. And so far, we haven't been able to identify him, but your statement will help us build a stronger case. We'll do everything we can to find him." Jenny nodded, her fear mingled with frustration. "I just want him to be stopped. No one should go through this. We'll do our best." The officer assured her. The next morning, Jenny decided to visit a salon. She couldn't bear to see the uneven, jagged remnants of her once beautiful hair every time she looked in the mirror. The experience was too raw, too painful, and she needed to take back some control. She chose a small, cozy salon tucked away in a quiet corner of town. The stylist, a warm and kind woman named Clara, greeted her with a gentle smile. "What can I do for you today?" Clara asked, guiding Jenny to a chair. Jenny hesitated, her hands gripping the armrest tightly. "I need to fix this," she said, motioning to her hair. "Cut it all short. Something neat. I don't want any reminders of what happened." Clara's expression softened as she noticed Jenny's red, puffy eyes and uneven hair. "Of course. We'll make sure you leave here feeling like yourself again." Jenny sat silently as Clara worked. The sound of the scissors both soothing and unsettling. Clara carefully shaped the jagged ends into a sleek, symmetrical pixie cut. "You've got a beautiful face," Clara said gently. "This cut really brings out your features." Jenny gave a small smile, running her fingers through her hair. It felt strange, but it was hers again. "Thank you," she whispered. In the days that followed, Jenny tried to piece her life back together. She returned to her classes, though she found it difficult to focus. Her friends, especially Mia, rallied around her, offering support and comfort. Mia, 24 years old, hugged her tightly one evening as they sat in Jenny's small apartment. "You're the strongest person I know," she said. "Don't let him take anything more from you," Jenny nodded. "I'm trying, it's just hard. I feel like I lost a part of myself, but you didn't," Mia said firmly. "Your hair doesn't define you, you define you." Those words stayed with Jenny. Slowly, she began to heal. She threw herself into her art, creating bold, defiant pieces that expressed her journey. One painting, titled "Reclaiming Myself," depicted a woman standing tall, her short hair glowing like a crown, surrounded by shadows that she had conquered.